Well, could a new way of voting be coming here to Sacramento? There's a local coalition that says ranked choice voting is the future and is working to get a ballot on the measure to voters very soon. Case Area 3's Jason Marks explains ranked choice and how it works.
Not too bad. It's like a good starter beer.
And these two can definitely work their way into the party.
Bantering between friends over a cold beer always seems like a good idea.
Only because you like hazy IPAs more than I do, and I like lagers.
And at New Helvetia Brewing on Broadway, there is plenty of brew to choose from.
Lighter, good color.
But agreeing on a favorite
She can like what she likes, and I can like what I like, and that's fine.
at times could seem political.
Who is the Taste Great Less Filling candidate in 2024?
Good British ale, like a Baz.
And since no one can ever agree on anything,
Between the Golden Ale, the Jet Ski, and the Molly.
the only proper thing to do
You know, it's anybody's game.
is vote.
This could be a good way for us to figure out whether there might be good middle ground.
So my name is Josh. I'm a volunteer with Better Ballot Sacramento, and we are advocating ranked choice voting for Sacramento's local elections.
Sacramento's Josh Rosa spends most evenings not at a brewery, but at community centers around the city.
We're all committed to improving our election process.
His hope is to educate all voters of an alternative way of choosing your candidate.
You might be wondering, what is ranked choice voting?
Rosa's part of a coalition called Better Ballot Sacramento, focused on bringing ranked choice voting, or RCV, to the entire county.
Ranked choice voting is a better system than the system that Sacramento has currently been using.
RCV's been around since the 1850s, commonly used in European elections. Though it's not new, it's never really caught on in America.
I think that it just takes time for people to really process it and see the benefits and start using it.
There it is.
And to show how the system works in action, Rosa thought it was best consumed with beer.
If customers in a noisy beer hall on a Friday night can understand ranked choice voting, we think that the voters in an election can understand it too.
But how does RCV really work? It can be complicated to think about at first, but let's see if we could make it a little less complicated. First, you pick the candidate you want to win, or in this case, the beer you think's the best tasting. Then you pick what you like second best, maybe something not as good, a bit less filling, but something you could live with if you had to drink it. You'd rank the third and the fourth and so forth. The key to winning a ranked choice voting contest is getting more than 50% of the vote. On election night, the ballots are counted for what they call round one. But if no candidate reaches above 50%, then the election goes into essentially overtime. Round two starts with the elimination of the candidate who had the lowest percentage in round one. Here's the thing. If you voted for that eliminated candidate, then your second preference would be used in round two. The process continues until there's a candidate who gets the majority of the vote.
In our city, 3 out of every 4 races for city council are decided in the primary election in the spring, which has very low voter turnout. So we're concerned that the outcomes aren't necessarily reflective of what most of the community wants.
RCV has already been adapted in more than 50 localities in the U.S. The closest to Sacramento is in the Bay Area, where voters saw a change at the polls nearly 2 decades ago.
The biggest part of my job every 2 years is the elections.
Kelly Clancy is the San Leandro City Clerk, a city in Alameda County about the same size as Folsom.
The biggest difference is you have choices.
That choice was on display during the city's 2022 mayoral election.
So this would be an example of where after round one, the person who had the majority did not end up with the majority at the end.
Hi, San Leandro. I'm Juan Gonzalez.
Current mayor Juan Gonzalez came from behind to win in round 3.
To me, it says that everybody's vote is actually being counted.
So why change to RCV? Some believe it's more equitable. Others say it saves money.
From a governmental standpoint and being fiscally conservative with my budget, I think having ranked choice voting is important because it prevents me from having to do a runoff election, which could cost, in the city of San Leandro, a standalone election, could cost the residents $1 million.
But this is a dangerous solution.
But as you can imagine, not everyone is intoxicated with RCV.
The right to vote means your vote is counted.
Oakland Seneca Scott is a political organizer and former mayoral candidate.
Words shape reality.
He says RCV is proven to fail.
You can win without a majority of the votes. Think about that. One person, one vote, simple majority.
Scott points to Oakland's current mayor, Sheng Tao, who didn't have the most votes after the first 8 rounds of RCV. She ended up winning in the 9th round with barely more than 50%.
Mayor Sheng Tao, she won with less than 1/3 of the vote. Less than 1/3 of Oakland voters thought that she was the best choice for mayor.
But we are on the verge of going backwards.
Tao is on the ballot again this year, but it's because voters are deciding whether she needs to be recalled.
Here's what it's used to do. It gets inferior candidates who could never win with the mandate in office.
RCV might be an acquired taste,
Okay, so I'm going to rank them real quick.
meaning the debate among friends over drinks will continue,
It's actually the sweetest mainstream tasting beer I've ever tasted.
which is fine as long as the keg isn't kicked.
There's not just one choice.
All right, you guys, go vote.
For photojournalist Victor Nieto,
And we are voting.
Jason Marks, KCRA 3 News.
So Sacramento residents will have final say if ranked choice voting comes to the area. Better Ballot Sacramento says it hopes to have the issue on the ballot by the year 2026, and if voters approve it, the first time RCV would be used would be in 2028.